Overpricing your home doesn't just drain your wallet, eats away at your sanity, your relationships, and even your future plans. The damage goes way beyond dollars and cents, guys. Friday, I went through the first 10 hidden costs of overpricing. Things like lost first impressions, wasting marketing dollars, and those sneaky carrying costs that bleed you every month. But that was just the surface, because if you keep chasing the wrong number, the second half of this list kicks in, all right? And these are the ones most sellers never see coming. They're the ones that leave you exhausted, discouraged, and sometimes even fighting with your own family. So today I'm going to dive into the final 10 costs of overpricing your home. And when you hear these, you're going to really understand why I get so passionate about pricing right from the start. Let's get to it. Number 11, cost number 11. I call it realtor fatigue. Here's one nobody really talks about. Even your own agent can start to lose steam, right? I've seen it happen when your home first hits the market. Your agent's really fired up. They're calling buyers, running ads, talking about your home at the office meetings. They're excited to show it off. But when a listing sits for months and months and no results, energy just shifts. Even the best agents feel the drag of showing after showing with no offers, constant price talk conversations, and the frustrations of marketing that's not working. It's not just your agent. Other agents notice too. They say to themselves, that seller isn't realistic. I don't want to waste my buyer's time. And they don't waste their time showing your home. That will not sell, and they take buyers elsewhere. I'll be honest. I don't quit on my clients. I've seen plenty of agents quietly pull back. They stop promoting. They stop doing open houses. Your home becomes just another stale listing in their pipeline. Realtor fatigue is real. It really kills momentum. And a real deal realtor like myself will never let a seller overprice their home, and usually will never take an overpriced listing. I don't take overpriced listings anymore. Your top realtors do not have the time to work with unrealistic sellers. Cost number 12, I call it negative online history. The internet never forgets. All your stats are listed online. Every single change, your price drops, your days on the market, even failed contracts get recorded, and buyers can see that. You got Zillow, and they're on Redfin and Realtor.com. They all publish that history. So, for example, imagine your home starts at $650, then it drops to $625, and then $599, and then $575. Buyers don't see, oh, what a deal now. They see weakness. They smell desperation, unless you have a real deal realtor who can do it right. I had a seller once who insisted on starting $100,000 over market value. 6 months later, after 4 price reductions, buyers weren't asking if they could get a deal. They were asking, how big of a deal can we squeeze out of the seller? That's the kind of calls you get from agents. How big of a deal? How motivated are they? That's not good conversations to have, guys. Because online you have this footprint, and it really matters. A home that launches, say, at the right price looks confident and in demand. A home that shows markdown after markdown, well, buyers kind of treat it like a clearance rack. When you're going shopping, you see for sale, 40% off. They kind of see it like that. Cost number 13, I call it opportunity cost. I think this one most sellers don't think about. So, for example, every month your home doesn't sell, your equity is just sitting there, right? Doing nothing for you. It's money locked up, money not invested, money not paying down debt, money not earning any interest. One of my agents in the office worked with a couple who delayed selling their home for almost a year, chasing a higher price. And during that year, they could have freed up $400,000 in equity, invested it conservatively, and actually grown their nest egg. Instead, they sat on a house paying taxes, utilities, insurance, while the money did absolutely nothing for them. That's not just a hidden cost, it's an invisible one. You don't see it leaving your bank account, but it's real money, guys. It's real money you could have had working for your future, all right? It's a good one. Write that one down. Cost number 14, staging becomes stale. Staging, guys, is magical at first. Fresh flowers, plump pillows, sparkling counters. But leave it too long, and staging kind of gets tired. Flowers wilt, rugs show wear, pillows flatten, and worst of all, your online photos start to look out of season. Buyers will notice, say, green grass in photos when they're walking through the home in December snow, and immediately think, this house has been sitting forever. I see this all the time, where the photos show blooming hydrangeas, but by the time we actually toured the home, the leaves had fallen, the lawn was brown. It's a disconnect. It broke trust instantly. Staging has a shelf life, and overpricing just burns right through it. Now, it can go the other way as well, where say the agent takes photos like in the early spring before the trees and the flowers really come out that good, but say it's not too bad. There's not, full trees yet. And then the realtor takes a listing all through the summer, doesn't sell, never comes back to take pictures in the summer when the home actually looks fabulous on the outside. And it's obvious from the photos, it's been sitting since the spring. How do I know all this? I am the expired listing queen. I've said that before in my videos. I take over listings that don't sell. I took over many houses like this. I Diana-sized them. I took fabulous photos. And sometimes it sells for a price that was higher than it was previously listed for. Boom, that's a big one. If your home pictures were taken this spring, it wasn't like 100% full, and now it's summer and your realtor hasn't come back to take pictures, make sure you tell them we need updated pictures, okay? That's why I take pictures of house. Like I just took pictures this summer of homes going on the market next year, next spring, next winter, because it won't look this way. That's a pearl, guys. You remember that one. Cost number 15, tougher negotiations. I think it's a painful one here because the longer your home sits, the weaker you are. The weaker it is for me to negotiate for you. So what happens is buyers see a house sitting for like 90, 120, 150 days. They don't think, wow, this must be special. They think this seller is desperate, and they kind of use it against you. So instead of competing offers, you get demands like new roof credits or closing cost help, free appliances, tons of big repair lists. Because you've already been sitting so long, sometimes sellers cave, and that's why it's so good to get a pre-home inspection. And I talk about that in many of my videos. What happens is sellers will finally get an offer after months of waiting. The buyers want, say, for example, $15,000 for a roof, $5,000 in closing costs, and they want your washer and dryer. You know what? You'll give in. What happens is this overpricing doesn't give you leverage. It takes it away from you because you just get so tired and you just want to end it all. Cost number 16, emotional toll. This one really breaks my heart the most. Because selling a home, you lived in for decades is already emotional. I'm kind of doing that process myself right now. And then to top it off, no one wants to buy your house. There's months of silence, rejections, price cuts. It really feels like torture. Every showing that doesn't result in an offer feels like a rejection, a personal rejection. So I tell people they're not rejecting your house or rejecting the price, okay? Because when a seller comes to me and says, nobody wants my house, I tell them it's not that they don't want your house, is that we're reaching the wrong people because your price is too high. You don't have the amenities of that price home. Let's make an adjustment. It's time to make an adjustment. And you know what? Selling a house really should be a celebration thing and of celebrating your next chapter. And what overpricing does, it steals you of that joy and replaces it with stress and sadness as well. So let's not do that. Cost number 17, bridge loan or double payments. This is where things get a little financially scary in a sense, where many empty nesters find they downsize to their dream home before selling their current one. And the realtor sold them on this high price. So they bought based upon that price that they thought they were going to get, but it sat overpriced. And guess what happens? They're carrying 2 mortgages or 2 homes, 2 sets of taxes, 2 sets of utility bills. I got called in on a listing where this couple, they bought a shore condo. They thought their home was going to sell with this other agent, and their agent had listed their home at a really high price. I think to get the listing, they said, he was the highest priced person, so we took that agent because of the price they gave us. Like, that's the wrong reason why to choose an agent, but that's what happened. So, of course, the home sat for months. They had double payments. They drained a lot of thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars in savings to carry both homes. And then when a contract was up, they heard about me and my Real Deal program. I sold their home in days, got them out of the mess at a great price, but it did eat away at their equity. So to take money from another source just to pay off, pay both mortgages. So selling their home quickly for them, I got them out of their bridge loan. In order to do all that, they had to pay these high fees for the bridge loan. There's very high interest rate on these bridge loans, all because the first home didn't sell fast enough because it was priced too high by the first realtor. So really don't pick a realtor because of the price they give you. If you're looking for a realtor, I have the Real Deal Agent Program. You know all about it. I can find a realtor anywhere in the United States and I will slam dunk it for you. I'll get you the best one out there and you're gonna love them. So if you go to realdealagent.com, let's go with that. Let's go, I can help you. Cost 18, we're getting there, guys. I call this family conflicts. It's pretty real. Pricing is really emotional. I don't know, I see families get involved, emotions explode, especially in probate listings where we have a couple siblings fighting. Sometimes adult kids tell mom, don't give it away. A spouse maybe insisting, we need top dollar for retirement. And they have this tug of war that's happening at the kitchen table. I've been there. I sat at listings where family members were actually literally arguing with each other about the price. Well, I sat there showing them the data. I said, guys, this is what we need to do. I show them what happens when a home sits overpriced for months. And not only is it bad for your pocketbook, it's bad for your attention and your family. It doesn't just cost you money, it can cost you peace. I tell them, let's get to it. And I usually can talk them into making sure they do it right. Cost number 19, I'm gonna call this missed peak selling seasons. Real estate, guys, has seasons, you know that. Spring and early summer, usually hot. By fall, the market cools. In the winter, it usually slows down. Depends upon the time of the year sometimes. During COVID, it was really busy all year round, but now we're kind of getting away from all that. So if you overprice your home in April, you waste 3 months chasing the wrong number. Suddenly you're in July. By the time you drop, you've missed the spring rush. I was called in on a listing. It just sat overpriced through the spring, and it was September when I got the call. Buyers aren't thinking of moving now. They're focused on back to school, work and life, It finally sold, and I took over the listing. I got it sold, and $40,000 less than they could have sold it if they just sold in May at a better number. Because timing is everything. We got a great price of them. We did a couple things in the house. It just sold for so much less. Overpricing really just wastes time, and it costs you the whole selling season. So really watch what time of the year you're doing this, and if you want to overprice your home. It's not a good thing to do at any time, but make sure you get the information from your realtor and kind of find out what they're saying. And again, I can find you a real deal realtor in your area. Cost number 20, netting less in the end. I think that's the most painful truth of it all. Unfortunately, I would say almost every overpriced home ends up selling for less than it had been priced right from the start. I know you want to protect your equity, right? You think you're doing that, but really you're doing yourself a disservice because buyers aren't fighting to pay more. They're then waiting for you to chase them down, I've seen it play out hundreds of times. Homes priced right often sell quickly, sometimes with multiple offers. I'm getting multiple offers on all my properties now still, and the price gets pushed up. Homes priced too high though, what happens is they sit, they're stagnant, and when they get reduced, they finally sell, usually below where they could have. And I've said that many times. Don't worry, guys. If you have a good realtor, someone like myself, a realtor, you can't underprice a home. Price it right. Buyers will bring it up. Overpricing, guys, is not a strategy. It's not something you want to consider a strategy at all. Now, I know this all feels overwhelming. I want you to know that you don't have to go through this alone. If you're in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, ring me, give me a call, get on my calendar. Let's sit down for my room-by-room review. My team come over, myself, to tell you what you need to do to prepare your home. I like to do this at least 6 months to 2 years in advance. So if you're 6 months to 2 years away, make sure you call us now so we can get the process started. If you're outside my area, give me a call. I have a super network of vetted listing-based agents who know how to do this right. We'll go through your home with you on your phone. I can tell you things you need to start doing and then get the realtor over there, start implementing what we talked about. So if you go to realdealagent.com and you fill out the form, I'll talk to you first, find out what your goals are, and then connect me with somebody I think that can do the job for you. So now you know that part 1 and part 2, the full 20 hidden costs of overpricing your home. I hope this one opened up your eyes, because overpricing isn't just a pricing mistake. Like I said before, it's a silent killer of your equity, your time, peace of mind. And if you missed part 1, here it is. You need to watch it. The hidden costs of pricing, part 1. You'll be able to put the 2 together and you'll have your 20 hidden costs of overpricing. Overpricing, guys, does not protect your equity. Totally destroys it. Don't let it happen to you. Check it out.